This is Valley News Live at 5.
The two men running for Cass County Sheriff went head-to-head today in a debate highlighting key issues in their race. Incumbent Cass County Sheriff Jesse Johnner is being challenged by Deputy Matt King. Their debate just wrapped up with both candidates addressing the growing sense of crime in the county and beyond. They also talked about the biggest issue they see facing the Cass County Sheriff's Office right now.
The biggest issue I'd say right now is communication. I think that if we had effective communication, we probably wouldn't have the issues that we would have going on, and I probably wouldn't be sitting here in this chair.
It's definitely recruiting, retention, and officer wellness. And we've done a number of things to try to move in the right direction in regards to these issues. As far as communication and Matt mentions, there's a number of things that we've done in that regards as well.
Today's debate aired on 970 WDAY AM radio. We'll have more from Valley News Live's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley tonight on Valley News Live at 6. The three men who were arrested in connection to a murder in Fargo over the weekend have been formally charged. George Ortiz is charged with murder, Joseph Poitra accomplice to murder, and David Reneros tampering with evidence. Authorities say Ortiz repeatedly stabbed Philip Bergquist with a knife while Joseph Poitra held Bergquist down. David Reneros Jr. is accused of disposing bloody clothing after the attack. On this Friday, for the first time, we're hearing from the family of the man who was found murdered near the Red River in Fargo last Sunday. They came to Fargo today to pick up Philip Bergquist's ashes and for the arraignment of those three men charged in connection to his death. They say Philip was a brother, a son, and a father to a 10-year-old boy. The loved ones tell us that he had an uphill battle with drug and alcohol addiction, adding that he was working to better himself and that he didn't deserve what happened to him.
It really is devastating. I mean, it makes you feel cold. For some reason, that's how I feel when I hear about this and think about it.
Hear their full story and why they're urging you to never give up on your loved ones tonight on Valley News Live at 10. On to the weather, where temps have definitely dropped. Let's get the latest from our chief meteorologist, Hutch Johnson. Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much. As advertised, we are expecting quiet conditions into our evening hours tonight, and Saturday morning for those hunters looks to be mighty chilly as well. Now, we could see some passing showers in the forecast, and we'll go over that in detail in a moment, but here's a look at some area temperatures we expect as we go through the 7:30 time frame. Low 20s, a best chance at a few teens will be in southeast North Dakota, and for the hunting opener in Minnesota, many of you will be in the low 20s to open the deer season. There. Oh, do you see him? Where'd he go? Oh, well, I'll tell you what, that's how it is sometimes. Noon temperatures will be near 40 degrees, increasing clouds late in the afternoon, but still temperatures in the 40s for that kickoff of the hunting season. Here is a look at what we're expecting in Fargo tonight. Temperatures slip sliding away. We will be in the low to mid 20s as we go through the wee hours of the morning. We have issued a first alert weather day for Wednesday of next week. We've been talking about an unsettled pattern, and actually it looks like we could get some very beneficial moisture as we head into our Wednesday forecast. A very good chance of rain for some, snow for others. We may even hear some rumbles of thunder with this system as it works its way up. It begins on Tuesday. We'll plan that all out for you here in just a moment in your hour-by-hour forecast, but for now, we'll toss it back to you.
A buffet of things to come.
Indeed.
All right, thanks. Otter Tail County authorities say a motorcyclist was found dead this morning in the same area where deputies were chasing a motorcycle last night. Deputies began chasing the speeding motorcycle on I-94 near Highway 59 about 8:30 last night. Officers lost the cycle when it turned south on County Highway 88 toward Fergus Falls and called the chase off shortly after. Around 8 this morning, someone reported a motorcycle crash at County Highway 88 and 180th Avenue. That's where officers found a man dead at the scene. His name has not yet been released, but he is a 34-year-old from Hazen, North Dakota. Election day is Tuesday, and one of the questions in North Dakota is measure number 1, which covers term limits. Valley News Team's Kellen Harmon joins us in the studio to break down how common this rule is in the country and how this will affect North Dakota. Kellen?
Thanks, Mike. Measure 1 is looking to set term limits for officials such as the House, Senate, and governor positions in North Dakota, limiting all of them to 8 years. As it stands, North Dakota is one of only 14 states with no term limits set for governor. You'll see Minnesota also doesn't have term limits, but South Dakota and Montana do. However, it's just about the opposite for state legislators, as North Dakota is in the majority of 35 states with no term limit set. Once again, North Dakota's law aligns with Minnesota. Those in support of Measure 1 say it will be imperative in getting citizens involved and educated with government across the state, while others oppose the measure, saying that an even balance of members and older experienced members are needed to run things smoothly.
Term limits realigns power back to the citizens of the state. It increases voter engagement. It dramatically increases the number of candidates running. You have a very small number who serve 20, 30, even 40 years, and they tend to cycle through leadership positions, and essentially a very small group of people has almost all the political power.
You need a good mix of longer tenured individuals along with new individuals bring new ideas. That naturally happens. The voters can decide if they want to keep this individual in or not, no matter how good or bad of a job they're doing at representing them.
Now, there are a few important things to note about this measure. One, this is state level, and local and federal level officials will not be affected. Two, those already in office will be grandfathered in a sense. For example, Governor Doug Burgum could still run for 8 additional years if this measure passed. 3, the term limits are for each respective position. So for example, someone who served 8 years in the House of Representatives could still serve 8 more years in the Senate and vice versa. Mike?
All right, thanks. By now, you're probably weary of all those campaign ads. It's all part of a record glut of spending on the 2022 midterm elections. Spending on this election is projected to top $16.7 billion across federal and state races, including ballot measures setting a new record for a midterm cycle. The most expensive senators all top $100 million, including Georgia, Pennsylvania, Florida, Arizona, and Ohio. That's just what the campaign spent.
We anticipate that we will trip the $2 billion mark for outside spending. That is money coming through super PACs and dark money organizations spending independently.
The good news is the election is almost over. The bad news is the next election cycle is a presidential election, which usually sees even more spending and more campaign ads on your screens. North Dakotans in long-term care facilities have the right to vote in city, state, and federal elections. For those without a current driver's license or state-issued ID, long-term care facilities can issue an identification certificate in order to vote. Officials say this includes a resident's name, date of birth, and current residential address. Residents can take this form to polling locations to vote. You'll be seeing a lot of blazing next few weeks. North Dakota deer hunting season started today and Minnesota's starts tomorrow. Hunters are reminded to know where other members of your hunting party out in state Center Avenue. Difficulties with apologize for that. We'll take a break and I'll clear things up for you. Stick around.